What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and we're jumping into some Black Desert Online content. I apologize that I couldn't stream this and give you guys my live reaction, but we're going to jump in and take a look at the Heidel Ball 2024 and all the things that were announced. Hopefully I can do this as quick, as dirty as possible. Starting off with the most important thing that we're going to talk about here is the new class, which was revealed, which is the new DOSA. So here we have the trailer for the new DOSA class, which is going to be a sword and spell type character, at least in my opinion, that's what it is, who's going to carry the Pondo, which is a large Inuyasha-like sword, and a pipe. The pipe will allow him to summon fog-like summons that will, I think they were called gods, soldiers, and then his sword allow him to access the evil energy, which he can utilize and move. There's a lot of cloud-like effect going around to the character, and it was definitely in keeping with the Korean mythology and Mesa and Megu and Musa. The class is set to release on July 3rd. It looked like for all regions and not just limited to the Korean. Looks like a pretty amazing class with really good movement abilities and some good distance area of effect type strikes on the skills. You can see here from some of the kit that he basically has a really nice attack rotation. His character's kit is meant to be played very smoothly and accessible even to new players. There seems to be a big emphasis on trying to make sure that the new content was available to new players and accessible to them, which is going to give us some more to talk about here in a second. It also looks like he has some really good counterattacks, so it should be interesting to see how the character works with the new hit effect system aside here. But overall, I thought the character looked really smooth and very interested. It would definitely be a tag character for my Hashashin on release, that's for sure. This is very smooth gameplay of the character, in my opinion. Really good AoE effects with his skills. Definitely great Black Spirit skills. That looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait for this character class to come out. I've finally been looking for a male type spell and board character. The Shashin was as close as I was going to get, and now we essentially have another character class that I can mirror that up with. I'm pretty happy and excited about it. We'll be tagging and leveling that character for sure. So that's the new DOSA class. It's going to be available on July 3rd. So outside of this, the next most important thing that you're going to want to be aware of is going to be the rewards. So yeah, there's some rewards. So you want to go inside your account and you're going to go down here to your settings, or excuse me, your adventure support, and you're going to go and redeem a coupon code inside here. And this is going to be able to get you, this is pretty amazing, is going to be a 2 J's Hammers of Loyalty and a choose your 10-year outfit box. So go here and type ball. Oops, excuse me. Wouldn't let me use the code. There we go. So it's going to be ball in Heidel. Oh, excuse me. Ball held in Heidel is the code. So ball held in Heidel is going to be the code that you need to use, and you can redeem that code immediately, and you're going to get access to, like I said, you're going to get access to, Jesus. So you can see here the 2 J Hammer of Loyalty is going to be available to you, and then you get the choose your 10-year outfit box as well. So there's going to be a number of outfits that were popular over the years: the Primavera, Lovely Bloom, Tiger Emissary, the Marnis, Jolly Winter, Creodel, Rosa de Charon, Termine, the Marine Romance outfit box, and the Bloody outfit box. This is pretty good because they made a special emphasis on talking about having a development for more outfits to come, specifically with the summer beach events that they basically have coming up, where we normally get these summer events for the Termian outfit boxes. Those are going to be coming as well, so take a look on be on the lookout for those as well. So let's take a look at those anyways. So as we move along, we did get a lot more information about the Land of the Morning Light. Uh, Pretty much the majority of this was centered around the Land of the Morning Light. So I'll play that video in the background. We'll talk about some of the changes. Seoul is basically coming, and they're doing their best to recreate the imagery that is there from old Seoul or Sangyang, or excuse me, Hangyang. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, and bringing that world to Seoul. So they've done a lot of recreation around the castle. With this, we're going to get the new palace management system upon completion of the Land of the Morning Light storyline that you basically have. And then we're going to get 10 new Black Shrine bosses that are basically coming to the game. These bosses looked pretty difficult. It was going to definitely up the difficulty on those characters. Some of them look really interesting with some really nice mechanics. I haven't delved as much as I've wanted to into the Black Shrine, but I think this is a really great place to do that. So along with this, we got the reveal. And I think the one that most people were going to be really enthusiastic around was specifically centered on the new items that we all have been waiting for, the aura for the Black Star weapons. But what we're getting is a new system and a new item. It's going to be the sovereign weapons. So sovereign weapons are essentially, let's go back to that. Sovereign weapons are essentially upgraded Black Star weapons, essentially, for that. So we can see here when they start to reveal some of the sovereign weapons
strategically across all
is going to be how you obtain these. So sovereign weapons are essentially going to be upgraded Black Star weapons. You're going to have 3 methods to basically leveling up these sovereign weapons. They're only going to come in 10 tiers available to you. So they're going to start at Pri, and then they'll go up to Deca, I think it is, in the Roman numeral system, I think whatever it was. So you're gonna have 3 ways of leveling these. You're gonna be able to combine primordial flames that you'll be able to acquire from the shrines, and with your Black Star weapons, and that will give you an aura. You'll be able to combine 2 pin Black Star weapons, and then you'll be able to get the aura. Or you'll be able to combine the Gem of Twilight with a Black Star weapon, and you'll get those. So the really cool, interesting thing about the sovereign weapons is that they're going to have 5 core effects that are basically changeable per the player's desires, which is going to be really great, right? Because essentially you get to choose those 5 weapon effects, and depending on the weapon effects that you want, you will have to hunt for these reform materials, so that way you can put those. The visual effects of the auras will increase with the level of your Black Star weapon or your sovereign weapon as well. So you can see here a visual representation of those with some of the classes. It looks really cool. The even better part about this is that these weapons are going to be able to, the auras are going to be converted depending on where you have. So you can see here where they're specifically talking about the primordial flame that you'll have to grind from the Black Shrine. You basically combine a pin Black Star weapon with primordial flame, and then you'll be able to get those, or you'll be able to take 2 pin weapons together. I don't know who the hell's going to choose that weapon. Combine a pin Black Star weapon with your pin Black Star, and you know that's going to probably be an easier approach to basically getting this. And then you have combining your boss weapon. So get a boss weapon to enhancement level 20 and a Gem of Twilight to your pin Black Star. So they have basically ways for you to do all of these at different ways for the different player base inside of here. Now, I think the easiest method, despite probably looking like the most expensive effort, is combining 2 pin Black Star weapons. With that, they have announced inside of the update that everybody, new and old players alike, are going to be receiving a pin Black Star weapon. Free pin Black Star weapons for everyone. That was absolutely a nuts of an announcement, because you're going to basically be able to choose Awakening, or you're going to be able to choose your main weapon. The only thing that they basically said is there's no plan for the auras for sub weapon categories. They'll look into it after the release of these, but essentially this is what you have in terms of the game coming forward. So you could conceivably take your pin Black Star that you have now and combine that with the pin Black Star weapon that they're going to give you in order to get that sovereign weapon, and then begin your crafting of those all the way up from Octanova depths. So you can see the scaling here, in order to get to that highest level that you could possibly get for those AP rewards that you're basically going to have. I think it's a really cool system. These are going to be the new power level items. I think some people were thinking he was going to be fallen god weapons, but looks to be different. Looks to be different. So that was really good. The next thing that I thought was really interesting from the update that they announced was the injection of hardcore servers. So hardcore servers are going to be added, and they're going to start the players at level 60. No foods and elixirs are going to be used, but PvP is going to be always on. So this is really cool for those players who are dying for an open world PvP type environment. You can go join those hardcore servers. When you die, and then you basically end up in jail. You are able to be released from jail based on your ability to acquire rest point over a number of days, or your ability to battle other inmates so that way you can rejoin. There will be a ranking system that's going to be based on your survival, with special rewards for titles and auras as well. So there's going to be some benefit here. The main thing that they took away from this is that essentially you're trying to get towards a space where those type of players who don't want to be encumbered by the trades and the crafting and stuff like that, they can jump on this hardcore server and just go for gameplay, especially with inside PvP. So I thought that was pretty cool. The next thing that they talked about was so you can see here, this was the hardcore server season 1. The next thing that they talked about specifically was the inclusion of the Termian events. So let's go into this Dekia monster zone. So the Dekia is going to be receiving some new improvements, basically, is what they talked about here. Not a whole lot to talk about it, but when we get into the summer events and new outfits, they took into a place that, hey, players really seem to like these modern outfit takes that they are. Is really weird because I hear different takes on this all day long about those, the different modern outfits and their injection into the world. But for those of you who did like the modern outfits, they are committed to bringing more and more new outfits to the game. So you can see here, this is a whole host of summer outfits that are basically be released. They do have intentions to bring some of these to the Shy, so there's a version to come. On July 10th, they're gonna release the new outfit Badaka, and then on July 24th, they're gonna release the Sea Termian outfit. And like I said, more modern outfits are to come. So that's pretty interesting information there. Next up, they trailed off because that was pretty much the majority of it. The big thing was that we have new content that is basically coming to the game in terms of regions and stuff like regions. So here we basically get told about the new region, which is going to call Mountain of Dawnbreak, which is going to basically be like 100-floor dungeon that you have to battle through. So that was pretty interesting in and of itself. We did get some concept art for how the region looked. I think there's excitement around that, because I can imagine when I think about the 100-floor dungeon, all I think of like solo leveling Arise, where he had to go to Demon Castle and basically unlocked his way up and had to battle through all of the demon floors to get to the very top, where he basically learns about the shadow of monarchs and so forth and so forth. So you can see the release dates here for all of the content that's basically coming out. For importance for the PvP players, Arena of Solaire will start on July 3rd, and the War of the Roses will re-kick off on the 14th as well. So after this, we got a nice conversation specifically surrounding that mountain, the Mountain of Dawnbreak, specifically inside of here. And it was an insight into looking at how the map was currently built in order for the growth of Black Desert to happen. So we essentially had the status of the regions where you basically had Medea. We went from basically like Calpheon and Heidel or Serendia to Medea and Valencia, and then we ended up down here in Grana, Odalita, and that's how we've basically progressed over the years. And we had the current scale of the map, which currently looks like this, where Valencia and Medea was shrouded inside of this desert wasteland, and that was what it was. Well, now there's going to be a little bit of an upheaval to the way we're going to proceed with like the Demon Land Castle and the Mountain of Dawnbreak, is we're going to be using the Magnus in a different way. So the Magnus is now going to allow for time travel. It's going to basically take you 1,000 years before the current world map and the regions as they exist. So you can see some of what they're looking at here in terms of going to battle the Mountain of Dawnbreak. And what we're going to basically be doing is teleporting in time 1,000 years to a different region and a time when Valencia was a lush forest, for instance. We did get some imagery of what that would possibly look like. I thought it was pretty awesome. We get some of the concept art for the Mountain of Dawnbreak here. It looked pretty good, culminating with this, you know, straight out of like what to me felt like straight out of Solo Leveling Arise, right? Was just this mountain of demons that we basically gonna have. You can see dragons and things like that off to the back and the rear. I think this is going to be really, really cool content and a real good reason for players to basically for players to basically like grind to get to that level. You can see dragons, like I said, off in the distance flying. I don't know if all of these are dragons, but you know, clearly this large motherfucker is a dragon, right? So I think this is going to be really interesting. You know, here you go with the image of the Magnus, and we talked about this, and then we end up with you know, this new region, the new map for basically traveling back, where you'll be able to see like how, you know, time has changed things, where, you know, we had this lush green zone of Valencia, which has now become a desert, but there's now like still, you know, the Valencia kingdom, or, you know, sitting there, and now it's no longer sitting along that mountaintop. So this will be a real interesting way to basically inject new content within the current map by basically converting the world almost. I think like, you know, like essentially you can utilize the same landscape that you have, but be able to travel back in time for players. As long as the story conveys it appropriately, I think this will be a really great thing. Now, outside of those things, we did get some talks about like palace management in terms of how we do the nodes and management, and being able to auto do trades and processing. And we did get some conversations around guild bosses, the guilds, and reorganizing the way guilds are managed, featured, and inviting to players. So for instance, you know, they're going to add some trait-like systems, and they're going to have some guild fame systems as well that are going to allow players to basically, you know, participate in events, and then the guild will probably become more noticeable for what it is that they're trying to accomplish. So I think these are really good things that they're basically talking about. They did talk about the modernization of the Black Desert Online for console, basically rolling out July 10th for PS5. Well, the port to PS5 is kind of underway, and then we get the Jordan saga that is going to be rolled out on July 10th for console, and 26 for PC in all regions and stuff like that. So I think this is really cool, especially on the content timeline that they have. I think there's going to be some dissenters to a lot of the information being presented, and they're going to be like, well, it wasn't enough. I do various other games for you guys, and we've recently complained about like Marvel Future Fight, and it's trying to charge you $40 for you know, multiverse saga type content. And then I basically pointed out to you guys, well, look at a game like Elden Ring, who's releasing $40 DLC that most players and even most reviewers are saying is, you know, almost on the same scale and magnitude as the initial game for Elden Ring that was released. It's just that big of a world. Then you look at a game like Heidel, and their content roadmap for the next, you know, 6 months to a year is essentially giving you so much content and at no cost to you. This is basically free to all players. Obviously, there's going to be monetization behind those features and things where they're trying to sell you outfits. They're going to try to, you know, probably accelerate your play in areas like that. But we're getting new servers, you're getting new regions, you're getting new content, and at no cost initial to you. You can free to play that. And this is why I say to you guys a lot of times, it respects having some degree of understanding about what it is that you're playing and the value of what it is that you're playing and why is that you're playing. Imagine if you were playing a game like Marvel Future Fight and you paid $40. Well, you then incentivize other people like Black Desert Online, or, you know, Elden Ring people not to give you that same content because you've paid $40 into bullshit that basically they then could see. I think that Black Desert is set up for success over the next year. I'm really interested in the male class Dosa. I don't really care about the summer events, nor do I really care about the new outfits that are available there, as much as I am interested in the investment that will go towards the sovereign weapons, and the Land of the Morning Light Part 2 Soul, and the addition of new bosses for the Black Shrine. I think those are good content that will keep players continuing that grind over and over again. Not especially you're going to run around with these new sovereign weapons and you want to have them. I'm only a little disheartened in the fact that if you go inside my inventory, I don't know how this is going to work with God weapons. I recently got rid of my pin Black Star. Yeah, I got rid of my pin Black Star and bought a Goddard dual glide. So so that presents some problems for me. I can't believe I did that, but it happened. So nevertheless, you know, if you're probably looking at that method to get your aura quickly and get your sovereign weapon, you might want to take a look on the shop. Uh, yeah, I'm so pissed off about that. That's why I'm laughing through my tears right now. But essentially, you probably want to start looking at, you know, some of your dual glides and looking at the Black Star weapons and your pins on the market and seeing about maybe purchasing some if you can. I can't believe I did that. Like it does suck. But like I said, I have other methods to basically get to that sovereign weapon, which is grinding black shrines and improving my character. So these are long-term grinds. These are not short-term grinds in terms of, you know, turning out content to players. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the update. I hope you enjoyed the Heidel ball as much as I did. I don't know why they keep hosting this in-game event where we basically sit here with all the players and watch this, and this has got to be like draining on the servers, but it happens nonetheless. So until next time, guys, thank you for jumping into the videos. Please take the time to like and subscribe. It really does help grow the channel. Until next time, peace.